What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Up the Score. Today we got me and Mike. Shock gonna be back next week. Prayers out to Shock. Hopefully his shoulder's feeling better. And
Yes,
today's
sir. Yes,
episode,
sir.
yes. Wait, say what you said?
I said yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, all
How's your
right.
game?
In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about Odell Beckham Jr. signing to the Ravens, and we're gonna have our way too soon NFL power rankings. This isn't what we really think about. Like, come on, it's April 11th. A lot of this is gonna change after the draft, and free agency is still
Yeah.
gonna go and all that. But first thing we're gonna talk about is Odell Beckham to the Baltimore Ravens. Mike, what you think about that move?
Um, it's a it's an okay move for the Ravens. It doesn't really move the needle for me as to where I have them in my rankings, but it is finally something. It's something Lamar has been asking for and begging for a bona fide wide receiver. Now, while I get it, Odell's coming off of two ACL injuries, like kind of back to back. He's still recovering. He didn't play at all last year, so that that really, that throws things up in the air for me because 15 mil for 1 year is kind of expensive, like a $15 million rental. Um, because there's no guarantee he's gonna come back next year. And there's also no guarantee that Lamar is gonna come back next year, or even we still don't know the fate this year. But I'm assuming that since the Ravens did sign Odell, that Lamar is gonna play this season. Um, but yeah, like I said, doesn't move the needle for me, and it's only because of Odell's injury history, right? If Odell didn't have damn near back-to-back ACL tears in the same knee, might I add, then I wouldn't. I'd be excited for Lamar. I would be happy for him that he finally got his wide receiver that he needs. But I just it's it's an okay move. Doesn't move the needle. You know, yeah, that's about all I got to say. It's
Yeah.
a very expensive rental.
Crazy expensive. But it doesn't go against their cap a lot. It's a 1 mil against the cap, and the other 14 mil was a signing bonus, so they could still make other moves. Cause cap is a myth in the NFL, and
Right, right.
and I kind of think it shows me Lamar may be willing to play on the tag a little bit. I think Lamar is gonna stay on the Ravens. I don't see
This
him
is on.
going.
This is. I think this is the only year he's gonna play on the tag. It's gonna be. It's the only year he's gonna, be willing to sit there and to not have a long term extension, because, all right. So the quarterbacks who are up for extensions, right?
Herbert, Burrow,
Herbert, Burrow, and Jalen Hurts.
yeah,
All of them are getting. All of them are getting 250 plus, like 250 guaranteed plus. Well, 200. I think they'll get 210 guaranteed, but the contracts are gonna be 270,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
270. They're going to be huge contracts. And Lamar has been in the league 2 years longer than these guys. He has an MVP. I honestly think that this is just going to hurt the Ravens even more. Is the price when Lamar won his MVP, the price was the average quarterback, I think they were getting 30 million. The average, like the max a quarterback got was like 30, 32. I think when Lamar won his MVP.
He would have got around
Back
40.
as a Yeah, for sure. He would have been the first quarterback to get 40 had the Ravens extended him, even a season, even either the next season or the next season after his MVP. But we see the Ravens waited and waited and waited, which I don't think was smart, but I'm not a GM, so I think it's just going to hurt them in the long run to not have signed him to a extension. Because when you look at Dak, like I hate to bring Dak, but he's the perfect example for this. His rookie year, we went 13-3. Um, the year after that, he he was okay. The year after that, we got Amari Cooper. He went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That year should have been his extension year. It was gonna be his extension year, and that's the summer the Cowboys should have signed him. And then the next year we started out 3-0, and Dak's like, "Hold on a minute, let me play out this season. I'm finna prove. I'm finna prove to y'all why I'm y'all's franchise quarterback." Well, didn't work out very well. He we went like downhill. We went not finished the season 9-7, I think, and after that, no, we finished season 8-8, I believe. That was Jason Garrett's last
I
season,
do remember y'all
and
finishing 8-8.
yeah, that was Jason Garrett's last season. Jason Garrett had 4 8-8 seasons as a Cowboys head coach, 3 in a row, by the way. But and then
Mid.
everybody's talking about Dak's extension. Who, Jason Garrett or Dak?
Cowboys 8-8, 3 seasons in a row. That's mid.
That was in 2011. That was when Jason Garrett was the head coach. Man, don't hold this.
He nah, Jason Garrett, because I don't know what the fuck reason made the Giants go get him after that. He is a terrible he's just terrible, bro. He was our offensive coordinator. That shit was.
I wouldn't call him terrible, but
He just runs sticks and close his eyes. And then, like, we don't have Jason Witten. You can't just run sticks and close your eyes.
He's a Kellen Moore disciple. I mean, Kellen Moore is a disciple of him. So I mean, what do we really expect here? But yeah, Dak. After that, he went into the 2020 season on the franchise tag for 31 million, and he was on fire. Now, while we only won one game in that span, that's not on Dak. And you look at Dak's stats, he led the league in passing. I think he was one touchdown short of passing yards that season, up until the point he got hurt. Then he broke his ankle and he was out for the rest of the season. But the 2021 season, when the price literally skyrocketed, Jerry Jones had no choice. You could either let Dak Prescott walk because he was at the end of his contract. You could let him walk, or you can re-sign him. Well, in the draft, we weren't going to find nobody better. We weren't going to get nobody that could replace Dak. So, Jerry Jones, ultimately had to resign him. And it was a 75 million. It was a 4-year 160. He got 75 million in 1 year.
Yeah, but
season.
I kind of, that's not a bad thing, because when you give them all that money at once, it makes it more flexible. Because now later in the future they could release him if anything ever. You know what I mean?
No, he still got money tied up to them, and it's still gonna be a huge cap hit. And that's why I don't get Cowboy fans and everybody else. It's like they don't understand stuff. Like, it's like they don't understand how the cap works. I get cap is a myth, but cap is also a real thing.
It's a real myth.
It's a real It's essentially it's a real myth, bro. And like, they just think that, oh, we can just cut Dak Prescott and that's the end of it. No, that's going to be a massive cap penalty for one. Two, who are you going to get that's better than him? No one. You can't. Unless we plan to get rid of him after this year and get Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams not even better than that because he's still in college.
Yeah.
The Ravens should have signed Lamar when the price was low. Now the price went from here. The price is up here now. And that, I think this is going to hurt the Ravens in the long run. So,
Cap, if you like what I've been seeing the new Giants regime doing, I love how they understand cap space, because Daniel Jones is the most overpaid quarterback. Is he really? Because it's a 2-year franchise tag, essentially, or you know what word I'm trying to say, bro?
Yeah, essentially.
Because look, he gets all his guarantees this year like a franchise tag, and he also gets the rest of that guarantees the next season. After that, he has zero dead cap. Anything he could get cut, just like how a franchise tag is, but he just got it for 2 seasons. After that, all of the extra money is just him. He earned it at that point because all his guarantees is gone. If we still want him, that means he's doing good, and he may even get an extension after that.
Yeah.
But the Ravens getting Odell Beckham, I didn't really say my opinions on this yet.
Okay.
I think this move was them giving Lamar a receiving option so he has no excuse. So when he plays on the tag, they can see how he is as a passer. Kind of how, like, because they've never gave him the wide receiver one for him to prove himself. Kind of how Jalen Hurts did with A.J. Brown. Because as soon as you gave Jalen Hurts, him and Lamar are similar players. The only difference is Lamar is better. and less power and more speed. Cause
Yeah.
AJ Brown went to the Eagles and he took him to another level as a passer. Same thing with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and we're gonna see it this season with Daniel Jones and Darren Waller. Man, hey,
Oh,
hey.
nobody's worried about Mister 2 games a season. Like nobody, I'm not worried about that, bro. I'm not. And when I'm in, I'm almost confident that, and I love Darren Waller when he was on the Raiders. I mean, I don't really care for him now that he's on the division rival team, but you know, I just great move from y'all, Darren Waller, but there's no way in hell he's gonna be y'all number 1 receiving option. We don't know why. He's not gonna be on the field that long.
Excuse me, but if he stays on the field, he will be a great ad for the Giants.
Oh, he definitely would.
And it's not even like
But
we need him because Daniel Bellinger is actually I like Daniel Bellinger.
he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, probably one of the best tight end twos in the league now.
When you're tight end too, I mean, I don't really
Yeah. Nah,
care.
nah. Yeah,
But
it
just
don't
how
matter. It don't
no,
matter.
just how many tight end twos are getting multi-million-dollar extensions contracts, bro?
Not that many, but like I like a person like Darren Waller. If he stays on the field, he's gonna obviously be a plus. And if he's not on the field, maybe he could show Daniel
Yeah.
Bellinger like what
Yeah.
to do to be one of those great tight ends. Um, ain't really nothing else to say about Odell Beckham to the Ravens. It was an overpay if we being real. Hopefully, him and Lamar connect because Odell on the sidelines and Mark Andrews in the middle of the field operating isn't bad, honestly. It just he could have got it for less. Maybe them giving him all that signing bonuses for another move, like maybe signing their quarterback or maybe
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know, cause I seen DeAndre
They
Hopkins may get cut.
yeah, because pay nobody wants to give a somewhat early pick or a wide receiver that's making 30 million.
And
Like
that's
nobody
old
wants to do
off
that.
of suspension.
And that's older. Yeah. So and nobody wants to do that.
And the
So
Cardinals
if
obviously
that's what
don't want him.
if the car if that hey, if that's what they gotta do, that's just what they gotta do.
Let's go to
The
our
Cowboys,
way too soon power rankings. Who you got at 32?
hold on. I gotta get back to my list.
Cause it's a nice transition for me because I got the Cardinals sitting right there
Uh,
at number 32.
as do I. I also have this Arizona Cardinals at number 32. The Cardinals are they're the team I feel like they have no direction. You know, they Cliff Kingsbury, they fired him or he quit, one of the two. And they went and signed the Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. Well, I don't think that was a good signing for a head coach because especially like him going from DC to and him having also one of the best pass rush units, he's literally downgrading. He's going from one of the best pass rush units to the worst. He's going from one of the best linebacking cores to the worst. He's going from one of the best secondaries to one of the worst secondaries. And I get it. That's what sometimes you have to do as a head coach, but and you have to build that from scratch kind of, but he didn't do that. He came in to a situation that was already are they already had they already had everything kind of set in place defensively. But yeah, I don't think that's a good signing for them. And I wonder what they're gonna do in the draft with the 4th pick.
Yeah, and another thing is their quarterback is hurt for the season. Like Kyler Murray's out for the
Yeah.
season. They're gonna have a backup quarterback. It seems like they're not gonna have DeAndre Hopkins. They lost JJ Watt. This is a reset. This is a retool or rebuild year, depending on how they evaluate the quarterbacks. And worst case scenario is they love Caleb Williams and they get like 4 firsts for Kyler Murray. Worst case scenario, or not 4, but whatever Kyler Murray gets you.
Well, I don't the thing about that is they just signed him to an extension last year. So I don't and it's not like Kyler Murray is terrible. Kyler Murray is still an elite quarterback. I just think that this year, the 6 games that DeAndre Hopkins missed, and then Kyler played what 4 games with D Hop, and then until he got hurt. So I don't think that the Cardinals would trade Kyler Murray for Caleb Williams, but if they did, I don't even think that's the worst case. I think that's the best case scenario
It wouldn't
for the
be for
situation that.
Caleb Williams. It would be like they suck so bad because they're the last. They got the first overall pick, and they're gonna have a decision to
Yeah,
make, kind of like when it was Josh Rosen and
yeah,
Kyler Murray.
Josh Rosen.
Yeah, only thing with Kyler Murray is he gets you more than what Josh Rosen can.
Yeah, I don't know. Josh Rosen, that was a terrible pick. Hold on, because I remember saying a while ago, I was tweaking. I don't know what I was thinking. I said that Josh Rosen would be the best quarterback in that draft. He's not even in the league anymore, I don't think.
Hey, that's
So,
how it be sometimes, bro. Next week when we do our quarterback rankings, man, it's hard to. Hard. I don't want to get too into it, but like Anthony Richardson, bro, he's either he looks like he could he could be out the league, but at the same time, he could
yeah,
be the
I don't
best
see it.
quarterback in the class.
Yeah, he's definitely not my best. He's not the best quarterback in the draft to me.
Well,
But
we'll talk about that next week. But let's. Well, you done talking about the Cardinals? You got anything else you want to say?
yeah, no,
Let's
I'm
go
done
to
talking about the
number
Cardinals.
31. I actually want to see who you got here. Who you got at 31?
I got the Indianapolis Colts at 31.
All right, I got.
Um, I have them at 31 because, they fired their head coach midway through the season. They brought in Jeff Saturday, and this team has been a dumpster fire since the offseason. They didn't make any free agency moves, I don't think. They let go of their best linebacker, well, their second best linebacker, Bobby Okereke. Um,
Yes,
Stephon
sir.
Gilmore got traded. He's mid, but Stephon Gilmore got traded to the Cowboys. Yes, sir.
Bobby
Stephon Gilmore
O'Carey
to the
went
Cowboys.
to the Giants. The
He,
coach is upgrading the NFC East. It look like.
and Paris Campbell also went to the Giants. Shout
Yeah.
out Paris Campbell.
Yes, sir. Shout
But
out.
uh, I just the Colts and Cardinals really could be interchanged because they are two of the worst teams, and I feel like they also have no direction with a top pick. The Colts, we don't know what they're going to do with their pick. I haven't heard anything about them doing anything in the draft. They didn't do anything in free agency, and right now all they have is Jonathan Taylor and Quentin Nelson. That is their two stars on the offense. And Quentin Nelson has slowly, or not slowly, but he has quietly declined. It's like his
Yep.
name is still,
Yep.
it's still Quentin Nelson, but he's not one of the best guards in the league right now. But it's Quentin Nelson, so he has to be one of the best, even though he's not. But yeah, I don't know why the Colts. Hold on.
All the players that they got that are good are at unvaluable positions. They got a good guard, a good running back, and a good linebacker. Those are like three of the least valuable positions that win you games, in my opinion. Not saying the Colts. I don't think they want to win games really that much either, cause they also do got Michael Pittman, who's nice, and it really depends on the quarterback they draft because they're gonna draft quarterback this year, but it seemed like people want to move up to pick 3. I don't know if that's smoke or not. I don't think it's smoke because I don't think the Cardinals should draft at pick 3. They have way too many needs to be drafting at pick number 3 with how little draft picks they got when they could get another first rounder next year and make their decision at quarterback next year, which I think it should be Kyler Murray, but if it's not, they got a lot of assets, kind of like the Eagles did. Cause you
Yeah,
always need a backup plan. You see, the Eagles had a backup plan last year. They was like, we're gonna give Jalen Hurts a try. If it don't work, we got 2 firsts next year. Cause if Jalen Hurts don't work out, that means we did bad, and we gonna have the Saints pick, which was a top 10 pick. Cause imagine if the Eagles didn't do good, they had pick 5, pick 10, and then they give up a first next year. The Bears would have took that.
yeah, for sure. With
Yeah,
the
but
Colts, you know, there's not any much more we could add to the conversation of the Colts. Um, but yeah, I think they they have decisions to make too.
yeah,
Like, what are they gonna do at quarterback? You know,
they
what are they
drafting,
gonna
but
do?
yeah,
I know they're drafting one, but who's it gonna be? Are they gonna trade up to? Because I think they have pick 7.
they
So are they
have
gonna
pick
trade
4.
up? No, pick we.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the Raiders. I'm thinking of the Raiders. Um, Are they? Who's going to be the quarterback left? Who's going to be the quarterback that's left on the board? Is it going to be? It could be either of the four, honestly, because it could be Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, or Will Levis. You know, in our mock draft, I had Will Levis going to the Raiders, but it could be either of those quarterbacks. You know, so we just have to wait and see on what they're going to do because, like I said, they're probably one of the most quietest teams in the media. I haven't heard nothing about them. I haven't heard nothing from them.
Listen, I'm gonna talk about my 31. It's the Cardinals division rival, man. The Rams suck. I'm sorry, bro.
The Rams all the way at 31.
They're bad, bro. They're
Bro, I
really
have them at 22. Oh my god, the
they're
Rams at
really
31 is
they're
crazy.
really bad though. Matthew Stafford. Even remember last year. You already know I don't like Matthew Stafford that much, and he has a serious injury on his shoulder and it looks like the Rams don't even believe in Matthew Stafford. It looks like they're trying to get up off of him like they know something about that injury. It looked like Matthew Stafford's done. I'm sorry. And he has a serious injury on his throwing shoulder. It looks like they're trying to rebuild. They gave up everything but Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald. Literally, they got nothing else.
Well, I, the Jalen Ramsey trade of the Rams, when they traded him to the Dolphins, I thought that was a good move on their end. Except they didn't get anything back. I think that was a third round pick, but I think they could have got more. But the only reason why they got a third is because Miami took on his whole entire contract.
Yeah.
So the Rams at 31 is kind of crazy.
They
Considering
had
they
one.
still have Cooper.
They had one
They
of the
still
worst
they
offensive lines. Their D line is nothing but Aaron Donald, which low key kind of is enough. But you talking about Quentin Nelson like is a name. Aaron Donald's not a name because he's still a top three defensive interior, but he wasn't number one last year. It's not like he was Aaron Donald that we know and love.
to me he was. I seen Aaron Donald. To me, I was still like when they played the Cowboys. I was like, holy shit, that's still
Yeah,
Aaron
yeah.
Donald.
Aaron
Like
Donald, yeah.
we still have a chance to his name alone could like put fear in people, like Aaron Donald, and people just jump because oh my god, my poor left tackle, my poor guard, my poor center, my poor right tackle if they put him over there because they're gonna get dominated. If it's not Trent Williams, they're getting the or Tyron. I'm not gonna say that. If it's not Trent Williams, or like Ronnie
Evan
Stanley
Neal.
or Evan Neal's Evan Neal got murdered by DeMarcus Lawrence. Don't even bring him up in this. I was about to say Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas has a chance against Carson,
Oh,
but
the crazy thing is I meant to say Andrew Thomas. I'm tripping.
oh, I was about to
I'm
say,
tripping.
but yeah,
I meant to say
no,
Andrew Thomas. I'm tripping.
I feel like the Rams. You got them so low, and
All
it's
right.
kind of disrespectful.
I'm gonna name you. I'm gonna name you their whole entire defense. They got Jonah Williams at. They got Jonah Williams, Bobby Brown, Aaron Donald, Keir Thomas, Ernest Jones, Christian Rosemoon, Michael Holchett, Robert Rochelle, Jordan Fuller, Russ East, and Kobe Durant. What the fuck is that? Bro, did
They
I
can
bro,
they can deal with that.
I'm a big NFL fan. And a lot of these names, this is my first time seeing them.
Mine too. First time hearing them. Like I know some of them, but like Russ East, never heard of that guy. Like everybody else, I've heard of them.
Like
But I
Kobe
just
Durant,
think
nigga, that's not the NBA.
I just
What?
I just think the Rams said they're just so low. Like that they're so low. Like
I'm
that's a
gonna
little too low.
Now I'm gonna name you their offense. They got Matthew Stafford, Cam Akers, Cooper Kupp, Allen Robertson, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, and their offensive line kind of sucks. But one thing I'll say is the Rams, as of right now, this is what I think of them. But they're what's their coach name again? What's it?
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. He told them that he's going to retire unless they change their philosophy and buy into the offense so that because he's saying that the NFL is changing and he wants them to buy into the offense philosophy. That's why they let go Ramsey, they let go a lot of their defensive players. But at this moment, they haven't added nothing to the offense. And they let go everything on the defense. Maybe in the draft,
But they haven't they haven't needed to really add anything to the offense. We know Matthew Stafford. He's come, like you say, he's coming off an injury. He's still one of the better. He's not top 10 anymore, but he's still one of the better quarterbacks in the
He's not
NFL.
top 20 in my
So
opinion.
I got him right at like 15, 16.
Not
He's
better
not.
than. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
He's bro. No, he's not the best, right? He's also not the worst. He's coming off an injury, like you said. And he had been battling that injury literally the whole entire season up until he actually like sat, got hurt and sat out. But the Rams, they Sean McVay is one of the best offensive coaches in the league, right? They
For
don't
sure.
need. I'm not gonna say they don't need defense because everybody needs defense, but they don't like defense is not something that, oh my God, we don't have any defense, we're gonna be terrible. Like it's not like that. They're still gonna be good, like offensively. So I heard a saying one time. It was like the best defense is twice as much offense, and the Rams have, they have pretty solid offensive players, offensive weapons, but they can be bad. They can afford to be bad this year. Like they don't have to make the playoffs. They don't have to make a Super Bowl. They can be bad because you know who they can do. They can go get Caleb Williams or Quinn Ewers or Drake
I
May
think that's what
or
they want to
somebody like
do.
that this year.
I think that's what they want to do.
And they can afford to do that this year. Like
It's the right
I think
option, in my opinion.
Matthew Stafford's contract is essentially done at the end of this year, so they can move off him. They're not trading Cooper Cup. He's like 31, or he's like I think Cooper Cup's about to be 30. So, he's still a good wide receiver. He's still solid, like one of the best actually. He's still one of the best wide receivers. And then everybody else is solid pieces. Tyler Higbee solid. Van Jefferson solid. Allen Robinson is not what everybody thought he was, but he's still okay.
Yeah, I think this
So
season is basically gonna be their thank you for the Super Bowl. They're gonna keep the Super Bowl MVP, Aaron Donald, and their quarterback. I think they want to be bad. Like I think this is gonna be a reset year. Because in my opinion, they suck unless they go crazy in the draft. Because they got the most picks in the draft. Like they got a lot of needs. They got the most picks, and maybe they could fill out the roster in the draft. But as of right now, they the second worst team in the NFL. Especially,
all right, man.
I have a hot take. I think Daniel Jones on this roster it makes them better than Matthew Stafford. I think I think so. Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. So are you saying Daniel Jones is better than Matthew Stafford? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Matthew
All right. Well, at
Stafford,
least you're honest about it.
2 years in a row, led the league in interceptions. He has a serious turnover issue. And Lions, it's not like the Lions were losing for a reason. Like he's a great quarterback, but it's like they weren't doing stuff for a reason. It's not only because of Matthew Stafford, obviously, because he's showing that when he has a nice pieces around him, he can win. But they weren't nice pieces. Those were great pieces. That was a super team. He had Vom. That was a super team, bro. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it ain't like it's. I'm gonna discredit him for winning with that team because he did what he had to do. But Matthew Stafford is not a top 20 quarterback in my opinion. And at number 30, I got the Colts. We talked about the Colts already. Similar reasons to what you said. And I feel like we doing a power ranking right now. I know they're getting a quarterback. And they got a good run game. Their defense not it's not the Rams got Aaron Donald, but at least the Colts got like multiple defenders. They don't just got one. I understand it's Aaron Donald, but he may be the best NFL player of all time. But like, damn, he can't do it by himself.
Best NFL player all time is a reach. I know you probably just,
I'm trying to give him
being,
his. Yeah, he's up there though.
yeah. Okay. Okay. My number 30 is the Houston Texans. Um, I think the Texans are headed in the right direction, actually. And I've seen in reports that they're considering not drafting a quarterback. Not drafting a quarterback, then what the fuck are you doing?
You think
Like,
that's smoke?
nah, I think that's real because the GM, who is Nick Casario from, uh, he's off the Patriots. He's been there for a couple years. And also D'Amico Ryans is their new head coach. a defensive minded head coach. You know, he led one of the best defenses in the NFL last year. So, I mean, I wouldn't, because don't get me wrong, Davis Mills is not Bryce Young. He's not C.J. Stroud, but he's also not that bad of a quarterback if you get some weapons around him. I think if you get Davis Mills some solid pieces, he can be an okay quarterback. Like he could be. I think he had his ceiling is like the 15th or 16th best quarterback in the NFL. That's what I think his ceiling is, and that's if you put pieces around him. But with Bryce Young, you know, you can Bryce Young or CJ Stroud can push you to that top of the top. You know, they have potential to be top quarterbacks in the NFL. And yeah, I've seen that if they don't take a quarterback and they're drafting Will Anderson, okay, one of the best defensive players in NCAA last year. You know, he has potential to be one of the best pass rushers in the league.
You seen Chris
So yeah,
Sims' edge rankings?
no, I did not.
He had Tyree Wilson number 1. I remember that.
That's
And he had Will
that's not
Anderson number
bad.
5.
Okay, now he's smoking crack. Will Anderson is literally one or two.
He's
Like
number 1.
I remember last year when I'm a Texas fan, so when I watched Alabama versus Texas, I was like, no way in hell Will Turner. I'm not Will. Yeah, Will Anderson doesn't dominate this game. I was thinking the Dallas Turner. I said Will Turner. I was thinking the Dallas Turner, but I was like, there's no way Will Anderson doesn't break this game. That guy putting Will Anderson at 5 is criminal. Because what the heck?
All right, so he has it in tiers. Tier number 1 is Tyree Wilson, and that's it. Tier number 2 is Luca Van Ness at number 2. Nolan Smith number 3. Will
And
McDonald
that's where
number
he's
4.
wrong. That's where he's wrong.
Will McDonald number 4, and tier number 3 is Will Anderson at number 5.
Nah, he's smoking crack. Will Anderson is better than every one of those players in tier two. Like him and Tyree Wilson are literally can go one for one. You know, like either one can go first. But um yeah, I think it all just comes down to scheme fit and who fits the scheme better because if you remember, Will Anderson is a linebacker. When he did the combine, he did linebacker and defensive end. Tyree Wilson, I don't even know if he did
He
the
didn't. He
combine,
didn't. He
but
didn't run any time.
yeah,
Tyree Wilson
I
didn't even
didn't
do the
think
drill.
so. And Tyree Wilson would have just did defensive line work. So that's why I'm thinking whoever it all comes down to scheme fit. Like whoever goes first off the board, maybe they just fit that team scheme better. You know, so I'm not really looking too much into those rankings. But yeah,
Yeah.
so it all comes down to scheme fit. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Texans are my 30 for the reasons I
29.
named.
I got breaking
Who's your
news for you.
okay?
Jeff Okuda got traded for a 5th round pick while we were alive to the Atlanta Falcons, who I got at number 29.
Oh my god, who's your 30 though?
Or the
The
Colts.
Texans? Oh, the Colts. Okay. Oh yeah. Jeff Okuda to the Falcons. So I like that move. I really do. AJ Terrell, and let's not forget Jeff Okuda was
Top 3
the
pick.
top 3 pick,
Yeah.
the top 3 pick, and he really just hasn't panned out. It's kind of unfortunate, and this is why if you're not Sauce Gardner, you don't take cornerbacks this high. Like I didn't think Jeff Okuda was the best cornerback in that draft. The draft was not great.
CJ
Uh,
Henderson, Okuda. Did AJ Terrell go
and
that year?
neither. No, I think that was the next
Next.
year.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Wait, hold
you're right.
on, hold on.
No, I think you're right.
Because I think Jeff Okuda went in the Kyler Murray draft.
I think no, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. I know that for sure. He went.
Oh no, he was in the 2020. So he did go with AJ Terrell.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
tweaking. He did go with AJ Terrell and CJ Henderson. But those players, AJ Terrell has had an up and down year. He had an up and down season
Yeah,
last year.
he
And
did.
CJ Henderson just flat out was not great. For somebody that's in the ninth overall pick, like or going that high, you were supposed to be Darrell Reeves. You're supposed to be the upper echelon of cornerbacks, even as you're young. Like and uh, Pat Surtain and Sauce Gardner. but they're young and they are already the
JC
best
Horn.
quarterbacks. He
Um.
hasn't played enough. He hasn't played enough games for me.
Oh yeah. But the Falcons, I love their team. If they added a quarterback, they'd be a star. They'd be one of the best teams. And hold on, because someone's saying I'm tripping. Brent, I'm talking to you. The Falcons suck. You have Desmond Ritter as your starting quarterback. Why are you mad at me for having them low? Desmond Ritter. You talk about some week 1. I'm gonna show you. It can show me, bro. You have Desmond Ritter starting, bro. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like,
And they
y'all
could
suck.
easily and they could easily have Lamar Jackson. Easily could have Lamar Jackson, man. But for some reason they just don't wanna. They don't want him, and it's so weird because how can you? It's Lamar Jackson we're talking about. You don't want Lamar Jackson. I don't know. If I'm the Falcons GM, fuck it.
Bro,
If
that
Lamar Jackson's available, whatever we got to send it to him, and we'll pay him.
and it's weird to me because I don't understand why when the owner was asked, the owner wasn't even asked. He came out when there were the Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons. Bro, you know what I'm trying to say. Lamar to the Falcons.
Yeah,
Rumors came out. He came out and said, "We don't want Lamar." Like, how dare y'all say we want Lamar Jackson? How dare you?
offended, bro. Who wouldn't want Lamar Jackson? Is what I'm not trying to understand. What I'm trying to understand. They acting like Lamar is not a top 5 quarterback when healthy. Like I don't get it. And my number 29 is the Atlanta Falcons as well for the same reasons you named. They have Desmond Ritter starting as their quarterback. Yeah, nobody fears Desmond Ritter. Okay, I don't care what. I didn't like him coming out of Cincinnati. I still don't like him in Atlanta, but they need someone other than Kyle Pitts or Lamar Jackson with Kyle Pitts. They will be one of the best dominant tight end wide receiver, tight end quarterback duos. Because when you look at what Lamar did with Mark Andrews, Lamar took Mark Andrews from a 3rd round pick rookie, and he played okay his rookie year. But when Lamar started playing, they took off, and Mark Andrews and the tight end is probably Lamar's favorite person to throw the ball to, and Kyle Pitts can be one of the best tight ends in the NFL if he had a quarterback who would throw him the ball, and if he had a team who would use him correctly. You know, the Falcons, they ran the ball too much and made him a run blocker, but he's not a run blocker. He's a wide
No.
receiver at tight end.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing?
They don't know.
Hell,
They don't
send
know.
them to the Cowboys. Send them to the Cowboys. You know, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'll trade my first pick. I'll trade my 1st round pick for Kyle Pitts. I would, because that's how valuable. Because once again, Dak Prescott, one of his favorite targets is the tight end. Kyle Pitts would go for over 1,000.
Sheesh. That's yeah. I like that.
So Jerry Jones, if you see this, trade for Kyle Pitts, please. If you really love me, which I doubt you do, but if you really love me, man, trade for Kyle Pitts. But especially with replacing Dalton Schultz, we don't need the draft, or it don't have to be our 1st overall pick. It could be like we can give it the 1st next year because it's gonna be number 32. So
Yeah.
trade that.
Oh, whoa. No.
Yeah, you agree. You agree. I saw you disagree. You just agree. It's gonna be number 32. So yeah, go ahead and trade that next round pick, that next year's 1st for Kyle Pitts, man. Like a 3rd this year, next year's 1st. I'd totally do that for Kyle Pitts, man. But yeah, Atlanta's my number 29. They should have traded for Lamar. My number 28 is the Tennessee Titans.
Me too.
It seems that the Titans are, I don't want to say they're blowing everything up. They brought back Jeffrey Simmons. They still have Derrick Henry, even though there were rumors that they were shopping him around.
I still think they
don't
are.
and they don't have anything, bro. Like Malik Willis, he didn't pan out. I can't believe I actually had him mocked going top 5 last year. He fell all the way to the 3rd round. Bro, when you look, when I looked at the Lions, I thought they needed a quarterback. What's that boy name? Jared Goff proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is still a solid quarterback. So I believe the starting quarterback next year is going to be Tannehill. They don't have any receivers.
Treylon Burks so far hasn't panned out.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Treylon Burks does not move the needle.
Yeah, they thought he was an AJ Brown replacement. That lets you know a lot.
Yeah, and we see that he's clearly not.
They lost their offensive line, like Taylor Lewan. They
Yeah,
lost him.
yeah.
They offensive line took a big hit. They receivers took a big hit. Ryan Tannehill's regressing. Harold Landry's coming
Yep.
off an ACL tear. Kevin Byard, they should just move Kevin Byard and Derrick Henry, and maybe Ryan Tannehill if they can.
No, Tannehill's not going nowhere. Nobody wants Ryan Tannehill, bro. But like you said, KB Kevin Byard, he could be traded. They can get something solid out of him. But I don't. I just don't think he would want to get traded because he plays so well in that system. He's not like he's one of the best safes in the NFL. So I don't think. And they just re-signed Jeffrey Simmons. So I'm
Yeah,
not saying they're blowing the whole thing up. They just
but this
they're
is just
just
what
hurt.
happens when you draft bad. In the past drafts, they got Caleb Farley, who was injury prone, and that's the whole reason he was dropping. The year before that,
Yeah,
Isaiah Wilson out the league.
out the
Um,
league right now.
but all I know is they just don't draft well,
They
and they
don't.
have Derrick Henry, and that's it.
Yep. So they drafted AJ Brown. So that's a
Yeah.
plus.
Oh, that's
But it
that's the
doesn't
other person
benefit
they
them
drafted.
anymore. It doesn't benefit them anymore because he doesn't play with them.
Yeah.
So I just I feel for Titans fans. Um, Mike Vrabel, there's no way y'all are going to tank this year. Mike Vrabel's not going to let it happen. He's too good of a coach. Y'all are not losing more. Y'all, if anything, y'all will win 7 games again next year. Like, there's no way y'all losing more than 7 games.
See, that's the thing. Mike Vrabel is a hard nosed coach who's gonna win this team more games than they should, like he always does.
Yeah. Like last year, they were the 1 seed, the
Yeah.
most undeserving 1 seed in recent memory. So
He's
I
like a Mike
honestly,
Tomlin, kind of.
yeah, like Mike Tomlin, they don't lose games that they don't have to. Like they're not gonna unnecessarily tank. So
Yeah, this is not the
shout out
NBA.
Mike Vrabel for keeping your team fighting hard, man. Y'all are gonna be all right. Who's your 28?
20, I also had the Tennessee Titans. And
Okay.
at 27, I got the Carolina Panthers.
Oof.
Yeah, they are a good roster though. I would like to say that, but they have a rookie quarterback that's gonna come in there. But this is an amazing situation to be in. I'll say that they got that crazy tackle duo. They got they got a bunch of band-aids at wide receiver. Like this isn't who they're gonna run at wide receiver for the future, but they got some band-aids there for whoever they draft. And their defense is also nice, but they gotta just Derek Brown hasn't he's good, but he isn't great. They got Brian Burns who's
Yeah.
great. JC Horn who's great. Like this is a good team. Like this is the point where we're starting to get to some decent teams and I just gotta put someone at a spot. But I love this situation as a rebuilding option for a young quarterback like Bryce Young or CJ Anthony, whoever they draft.
Yeah. Fact. My 26. Oh, I'm not gonna do my. I'm gonna talk about the Panthers, even though I'll talk about them. No, you know what? I'll talk about them when I get to. My 27 is the Washington Commanders. Um, I got them at 27. They still have us bona fide defense. They've had that for the past what 3 years. A crazy front four, okay middle linebackers, and okay secondary. But that front four is what really makes them what they are. Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Deron Payne, probably the best defensive tackle in the league, Jonathan Allen.
Behind
But
Dexter
besides
Lawrence.
that, huh?
Not better than Dexter Lawrence.
Debatable. But I'm not finna go into that debate. So where did Dexter Lawrence go to college? Clemson.
He
He went to Clemson.
was it? Was it Clemson?
I think so.
Maybe I could see him in orange for some reason. Was it Clemson? I don't know.
Yep, he went to Clemson.
Yeah, you know more about college than me. Like I ain't
You know
watched
what?
college at all really until last week because now I'm trying to evaluate the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Let me make sure. Yeah, he went to Clemson. Okay, so uh, and it's not even like the defense doesn't concern me. Like if I'm a fan, like I'm not worried about the defense. I know they'll be straight. I'm not really worried about the offense. You know, it's not. Well, I'm not worried about a certain unit of the offense, which is the wide receivers. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson can be because they were one of the best wide receiver combos last year, well duos. My position I'm worried about is the quarterback because they brought in Jacoby Brissett. They still have Taylor Heineke. Did Taylor Heineke resign? Or did he? No, Taylor Heineke left.
No, they got Jacoby
Now,
Brissett and Sam Howell.
yeah, I was thinking of. Hold on, where did Taylor Heineke go?
He went to the Falcons. Yeah, Falcons.
Taylor Heineke. Yeah, he went to the Atlanta Falcons. So, well, while we were talking about the Falcons, that could be their quarterback. We won't know that until next year. So the I'm Jacoby Brissett had a solid year last year with the Browns, and Sam Howell, we saw what he did versus the Cowboys in the last game of the year. He played all right. He played pretty solid. But I'm really that's the only area if I'm a fan that I'm worried about as a quarterback because it's like they don't draft high enough to draft a quarterback, and when they do, it either blows up in their face like RG3, or they take somebody defensively like they did with Chase Young. So I'm just if I'm a fan of the Commanders, everything else is solid. I'm just worried about my quarterback. Like I don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback, and that's the only hole that they have. That's the only thing that that's the only reason why they're so low because they don't have. I don't. They're a quarterback away, I think, from being decent. But until they get that quarterback, I just don't see them doing anything anytime soon.
We got number 26.
Who's your 27?
The Panthers.
Okay, yeah, we had 26.
Kind of a hot take. I got the Green Bay Packers at 26.
It's not a hot take at all.
It's not.
No.
All right. They not again. Like I said, this is to the point where these teams are starting to look better. They got a great defense because that's all they draft, and their offense isn't bad. It's just so many question marks. They got question mark of Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers could possibly return, bro. Like it's not. I don't know.
There's always that possibility. Yeah, there was always that.
But it's like
that he could.
the Packers didn't make the playoffs last season, and if they lose Aaron Rodgers, they gonna get worse. And if they don't, it's not. I don't know, bro. Just so many questions with the Packers. They're just a question. I don't even think the fans know what they want. But I'm gonna talk about them a little bit. They got nice pieces though. They got Aaron Jones. They got Christian Watson, who the Dallas Cowboys let him break out against them.
Hey, do me a favor. Do me a favor and shut up. Don't you think I know that? And that was a crazy game. And it seemed like every time that we were in press man coverage, that's when they took advantage of his speed and he went. He scored his touchdowns. But
they got a bunch of bright spots though.
Yeah, they do. Like the middle linebacker, Quay Walker, is a solid linebacker. They still have Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
He's a good linebacker. He's still a great
Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes. They even drafted Devontae Wyatt. Bro, they got a Kenny Clark. They got so many good pieces, but it's just other teams.
It's the offense.
Yeah.
It's the offense that I'm concerned about. And I think it's just the question marks with Aaron Rodgers and
the right side of their O-line.
Yeah. We don't know David Bakhtiari and Elgin Jenkins locked down the left side. They have a solid center. I forget his name.
Josh Myers.
The right side. Yeah. It's just the right side that concerns me just a little bit. So I'll talk more about the Packers when I get to them.
Yeah, like this roster's not bad, but you can get through with Aaron Rodgers, but not with Jordan Love with this roster.
I think this is actually perfect for Jordan Love. He can get acquainted with some guys, some guys that he has. He has Christian Watson. And he doesn't have Robert Tonyan anymore. He can get acquainted with Christian Watson, and they can draft a wide receiver.
Yeah,
something they would not do for Aaron Rodgers. But our 26 is the Denver Broncos.
Excuse me. Me and you are very different opinionated on the Broncos, but you can say why. I don't blame you.
the reason why I brought the Broncos to my 26 is because they are. I'm not gonna say a quarterback away. They got Sean Payton from the Saints, right? They have, to me, it feels like an act of desperation. You know, they're desperate for something that's not Nathaniel Hackett. And Sean Payton is a great head coach. Do not get me wrong; he's a great head coach. But how is he going? How is he? And is he gonna? What is he gonna do to make this team better? You know, they still have Russell Wilson. You know, they have okay wide receivers. They're shopping around Jerry Judy. What are they gonna do with these picks? Like, they don't really have. They don't have a first round pick, I don't believe. No, because that goes to the Bron. They went to the Seahawks. So what are they gonna do? Is what that's all I want to know. Like, what's gonna happen? Can he make everybody buy in and actually listen and do something? I I I see he can do that. I think he can, but I just feel like Russell Wilson, I feel like he's washed. So that's why the Broncos are my 26.
It's not crazy. The Broncos are a wild card. It's not crazy, but I'm very different opinionated on them. At my number 26, I got the Houston Texans. I like
Okay.
I like this team, man. They got Larry Tunsil at the left tackle, Kenyon Green at left guard, Shaq Mason at right
Mm.
guard, and Titus Howard, who's a fine bridge tackle. They got Robert Woods, Damian Pierce, who even was great. They got so many pieces that I like, and this is my favorite landing spot for Anthony Richardson because all those run blockers on the offensive line. They got Damian Pierce. They
Yeah.
and then with the defensive-minded head coach, he wouldn't have to like do too much, and he'll still be able to use Anthony Richardson if you know what I mean. But even though
Yeah.
the offensive coordinator will mainly be calling plays, but like D'Amico Ryans, I feel like could do something with the running quarterback since he don't got to drop too much passing concepts. And their defense, they got another pick in the first round. They got a lot of picks this year. I feel like Derek Stingley is nice. I like Jalen Petrie. They got a bunch of pieces that I like, especially on that
How
offense.
did, bro? Did they have back? Did they have two first round picks last year?
No, they got Jalen Petrie in the top of the second because they were a bad team.
Who they drafted their first pick?
Derek
Derek
Stingley.
Stingley. Okay, I thought they had two first round picks last year.
Maybe they possibly. Oh yeah, they did. Kenyon Green.
Okay, see, yeah, see, I did watch it. How'd they get those? Oh, the
That's Deshaun
Browns
Watson.
trades. Okay, okay. I had to think a little bit. I had to
Yeah,
think about
they may even have another two first rounds next year. Bro, the Browns are stupid, bro. But how
it.
stupid?
Yeah, stupid enough to sign Deshaun Watson. That was not smart. I don't think. But I'm not a GM, so
They also got
this
Dylan
is not my
Schultz,
pay grade.
John
It's
Mechie,
not. I'm not.
Devin
And Noah
Singletary.
Brown. You know what? I'm happy for Don Schultz and Noah Brown. Goodbye and good riddance. Like, I don't care for either one of them. I'm glad they're gone. Not gonna lie.
We got to speed this up a little bit. It's 107.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hold on.
Oh wait, that was my number 25, by the way, not 26.
Okay, my 25 is Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
For the reason, did you have the Panthers?
Yeah.
I switched the Browns and Panthers. I had the Bears and Panthers. I had the Panthers at 18 at first. I switched the Browns and I mean I keep saying
You
the
you
Browns.
switched up. You switched up a little bit.
Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
My 20. Let's just go down the line until we get to like the top five or so.
we
My
can talk
25,
like for a second though. Like at 25, I got the Texans. Who you had at 25?
the Panthers, and that's because I don't know what direction they're going, and they could be low.
Who you got at 24?
24 is the Las Vegas Raiders. Once again, they have Devontae. They have an okay pass rush with Chandler Jones. Even though he wasn't. Even though
Yeah,
he
he's
was around, and
washed.
Max Crosby.
He's
And they have
washed.
and Max Crosby as well. But um, they're going to draft a quarterback, and like I've been saying before, uh, what's the coach name? Josh McDaniels is going
Yeah.
to be able to mold that quarterback into what he wants.
I don't think they. It's like I don't understand. All right. Raiders fans, I got a question for y'all. How do y'all feel about the Jimmy Garoppolo signing? Because y'all had Jimmy G at home, bro. Like Derek Carr and Jimmy G, there is not any difference. The only difference is that Devontae Adams not playing with his best friend anymore. Like they the same like thing. They a mid-age quarterback that's not going to win you a Super Bowl. What was the point of that signing? And I don't think that they're going quarterback too. That's the crazy part. I think they're going offensive line or defense.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Raiders. At number 24, I had the Chicago Bears. I wanted to put them so much higher because I love Justin Fields.
I have them higher.
I wanted to, trust me, I wanted to, but a year too soon. I wanted to put them real high, but I love their team. They're gonna. I wonder what they draft. I would love if they drafted offensive line for Justin Fields, and they got him some decent receiver. Actually, I can't even say decent. They got DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney. Bro, the Bears are starting to figure it out, man. And if you were to do a redraft of that draft, Justin Fields is going number 2.
You said Justin Fields is going number 2?
Yeah, like if you were to do a redraft, it would be like Trevor Lawrence, off the top of my head, Justin Lawrence. I said Justin Lawrence. That's crazy. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Michael Parsons.
Yeah,
that would be the top 3.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, Rashawn Slater.
No, I think Rashawn Slater went where he was supposed to. I think that 13 is where he was supposed to go. Or he was right after the Cowboys. Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah, but I would have drafted Rashawn Slater to the Bengals pick. Oh no, the Falcons had pick 4.
Yeah, and they've drafted Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Or that was
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Yeah. Rashawn Slater, bro. Or Penny Sewell.
To the Bengals would have. Yeah, but I mean, if we're redrafting then the Bengals at 5, then one of them, then they can draft one of those players because Jamar Chase.
He's gone.
They could have picked Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle was still on the board.
I would have took. That's a good. All right. Yeah.
So you either got Rashawn Slater, Penny Sewell, or Jalen Waddle.
That draft stacked, bro. That draft had so many blue chip players. Wait, what number we at? 24. We had at 24.
I had the Raiders. You had the Bears.
Yeah, and at number 23, I had the Raiders.
I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't have too much to say. You know, they're going downhill. Their new quarterback is Baker Mayfield. There's not much else to say about them.
What number is that? 22?
23.
At 23, I had the Raiders. Oh, yeah, I did. At number 22, I have the New England Patriots.
I have the Los Angeles.
They roster suck, but they got Bill Belichick, so they're gonna prove me wrong somehow and like be number 15. But their roster is bad.
I have the Los Angeles Rams. For the reasons you named when you had the Rams at 31, they're not great, but they're not terrible. They're not like they can still win some games, you know. So that's why they're at.
I'm sorry.
22 for me.
The Rams actually suck in my opinion.
I'm banking, like I'm counting on Matthew Stafford to come back healthy. You know, I'm counting on Cooper Kupp to come back healthy. And as long as they have Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, the sky's the limit, honestly.
You see, I gotta do a Matthew Stafford. Would you rather? It seem like because I don't have him in my top 20, bro. Like,
no. He's not a top 15 quarterback. He's like 16 for me. Like, that's where Matthew Stafford's sitting right in the middle for me. So
you can say a lot of names, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I understand it. So we at number 21 now.
21, yep.
This is I'm a little higher on them. The Washington Commanders. I like their receiving offense. Jahan Dotson is gonna break out this year, man. And I hate it. I hate it. But he's really good. And
yeah, for sure.
Jacoby Brissett is a good like backup quarterback in case Sam Howell don't ain't it because shit he was with the Browns. He's a good rich quarterback, man. So worst case scenario, I think they're gonna be a mid team like usual. Like 7 wins.
My 21 is the Cleveland Browns. I don't think they don't have any. They don't have a lot of draft picks for. I know they don't have any first, so they're gonna have to make do whatever they have. They really can't do anything in free agency. They just traded. They traded for Elijah Moore, so that gives Deshaun Watson another option along with Amari Cooper, and Nick Chubb is still there. So still one of the best running backs in the league. Um, I don't get it. I don't know what. I don't know what the Browns are thinking when they traded for Deshaun, but they did. So
At
number
number,
20.
yeah, you're number 20.
My number 20 is the New Orleans Saints. They're a quarterback away and a couple wide receivers away from being okay. They have a great defense, so they're just a couple. They're a quarterback away from being decent, and they're a couple wide receivers away from being good. Chris Olave should have won Rookie of the Year in my opinion, but it was Garrett Wilson. Yeah, so with Chris Olave, MT, he can come in.
He has to come this year, right? Like he has
He
to.
has to. Like he has to play. Like it feels like I haven't seen him in 3 years.
It has. This is the last time he played was whenever Drew Brees played.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the Saints, like I said, they're quarterback away from being decent, and they're like one more wide receiver away from being good. They already have a good defense, so not really tripping on the defense. They just need another. They need a quarterback and a wide receiver.
At number 20, I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They still is a good roster because they just was a contender, kind of.
Oh, bro, I am just now remembering. I literally just remembered this. They do have a quarterback.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Oh, the Saints. Yeah.
I just remembered that. Terrible podcasting by me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you forgot about that? You said they don't. You said they don't have a quarterback. I was thinking like, damn, you kind of low on Derek Carr. I ain't saying nothing yet. I was gonna wait till.
Should have because I just thought about that. Just remember it was Derek Carr. So like I said, they got Derek Carr now. They're decent. Now they're another wide receiver away from being good.
Okay, yeah.
But they're still my 20 because I'm not that high on Derek Carr.
Yeah. That's kind of why I didn't say nothing because like not being high on Derek Carr isn't crazy. It's just I think he's the best quarterback in that division. So it's like they're gonna win the division, but they're not gonna be that threat though, for real. Or they could, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, number 22, I got the Buccaneers. They still got all their receiving options. Their offensive line isn't crazy, but like it's good enough. Like this is a team that was just a contender, kind of. I don't want to say contenders a reach, but like they're still a good roster. They got a lot of older pieces from that Super Bowl contender that is starting to regress, but they are still good players, even though they're not at the prime powers. They like Vita Vea, still a good player. Same with Shaquille Barrett. They're not in their peaks, but you know what I mean. And then at number 19, shout out Shark, I got Pittsburgh Steelers. They're gonna like I said, Mike Tomlin, he's one of those. He's gonna make them win more games than they should, but roster wise, I got them like around number 19.
I have number 19. It's the Green Bay Packers. I have the Packers at number 19, only because I trust their defense to be okay. Like, I trust their defense to be straight.
Yeah.
Like you like name all the players: Jair, Rasul Douglas. They still have Adrian Amos. They have the D line, Rashawn Gary, and
Eric Stokes, Kenny Clark.
They
got so many first rounders on that defense. Quay Walker.
And it's okay. It's It's a good defense. It's just the offense I'm concerned about because all it is Christian Watson and Aaron Jones and the okay O line. So not too much. I'm not really going to spend too much on them because my number 18 is their division rival. Did you say you're 19?
My number 19. Shout out to Shark, man.
Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers. My number 18 is the Chicago Bears. The Bears, they got a haul for that first overall pick, which included DJ Moore, who Justin Fields needed a number one wide receiver, and more picks. And they still got the ninth overall pick. So getting a star wide receiver and only having to move down 8 spots is well 9 spots kind of is a steal in my opinion. Justin Fields is still developing. The Bears they went crazy. They did what they had to do in free agency. They signed Tremaine Evans. They signed the linebacker T.J. Edwards from the Eagles. I think the Chicago Bears team is going up, and they ain't no telling what they can draft. They can draft a tackle and with a nice pick. I'm thinking Peter Skoronski or Paris Johnson Jr. Either one of those. So the Bears are my 18 because I think that this roster is just going to keep improving.
Yeah, we staying in the north. I got the Vikings at number 18. They okay. Their deep. Let me pull up the roster, but their wide receiver two is a glaring O after Adam Thielen leaving. Their O line is already mid. Dalvin Cook, he's cool, but he's gonna miss like 4 or 5 games. But their defense, bro, we got regressing Harrison Smith, who's still great, but he's regressing. Daniil Hunter, who he's bound to miss a couple games also. And after that, you got nothing. Really. Like, we see the Giants are capable of...
Is it Darius Smith?
No. He not. Wait, does he play this stuff? Darius Smith.
Yeah, he does. He still plays with them.
He's not on the depth chart. Oh, they're hiding him here. Oh, why is he behind Marcus Davenport?
They did sign Marcus. That's crazy.
Yeah, they do got a nice edge rotation. I didn't see Darius Smith. I ain't gonna lie. They also did get Byron Murphy, but still, bro, like they have a mid offense. It's really just Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. They got it. Well, they do got T.J. Hawkinson also. Like they're a mid team. They are a mid team. They got to get some pieces in the draft though, like Jordan Addison, maybe Quentin Johnson if he falls. They need another option at receiver. Kirk Cousins isn't someone who could uplift KJ Osborne or Jalen Rager. He's the person who needs to get uplifted. Like he's capable of being a top 15 quarterback, but you got to give him top 10 weapons. And
yeah,
they're like 1 or 2 pieces away from being a playoff team. But as of right now, I got them coming second in the division to the Detroit Lions, who are number 17. The Detroit Lions, this team is stacked. They just traded away Jeffrey Okuda, so I think that means they're going to go with Devon Witherspoon in the draft.
My 17. You have the Lions extremely low. My 17 is the New England Patriots.
The Lions are low?
Patriots. Yeah, the Lions are extremely. Like you got them. Like,
I got them winning the division though.
Yeah, but they're good. Yeah, I got them winning division too. But yeah, 17 for the Lions is kind of crazy.
All right, let's see.
My 17. Because like you said, they still have Bill Belichick, but other than that, they don't have anything. The defense is gonna be good because of Bill Belichick, and the offense, I don't know what to make of the offense. They signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Doesn't move neither for me. They were shopping around Mac Jones. You know, I don't know where they could possibly get him to go, but yeah, that's why they're my 17. I don't have too much to say about them.
Yeah.
Still, Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. No, Damian Harris doesn't even play for them anymore. Ramondre Stevenson is still a solid running back, and this Damian Harris leaving gives me the reason to think that if Bijan Robinson does fall to the Patriots, they will take him.
I would hate that.
So, I would hate that too, but don't count it out because the Patriots are a run-heavy team.
Yeah,
they don't pass the ball. They don't need to pass the ball.
Yeah,
they had 2 good running backs, but you get Bijan in you get Bijan behind the okay O line, and you see him. He'll work his own magic. So.
At number 16, I just put this team in the middle. Like that's I just threw the Jets in the middle. I don't know what to do with the Jets. They got Zach Wilson at quarterback, but I know they're not going into the season with him at quarterback.
Yeah.
There's
no way, no shot they do that.
What about Ryan Tannehill to the Jets?
I would That wouldn't be bad, but it would be so anticlimactic.
It would.
Like the whole offseason, everybody's been penciling in Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. He went on Pat McAfee show. His intention is to play with the Jets, just for them to get fucking Ryan Tannehill. I, that would be annoying. That would not be great. I would personally be pissed off if I'm a Jets fan and I've had my expectations set to Aaron Rodgers and we just get Ryan Tannehill. I'd be so mad. But my 16 is the mini. I want to say Minneapolis. It's the Minnesota Vikings. Um, bro, I almost said Minneapolis
And I
Colts.
almost
I,
let you like I would they sounded I know who you're saying. It sounded so good in my head too.
yeah, I almost said Minneapolis Colts, bro. But yeah, the Vikings are my 16 because of the reasons you stated. I just have to put them in the middle. Like I don't know what to do with them. They went 13-4 last year, but if you look at all their wins, they were damn near one score. And then one of their losses, well, a couple of their losses were by multiple scores. The Cowboys dropped 40 on them. The Giants, y'all eventually beat them in the playoffs. So that preseason, I mean that regular season loss really didn't matter. But like you said, Kirk Cousins cannot uplift a player. Like he can't uplift his team. He needs his team to be good enough to where they can uplift him. And their defense is not good. They don't have anything outside of T.J. Hawkinson, Dalvin Cook, and Justin Jefferson. So they're my 16. My number 15 is the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are my 15. We still don't know Lamar's fate. They just signed Odell, but that does not move the needle for me. Like I said before we started this, does not move the needle. Um, they are solid defensively, but they're not the best defensively, and we just don't know what. We'll see about the Ravens, and maybe as time goes on, I will change my mind about them. But as of right now, they're stuck at 15 for me.
At number 15, I got the New Orleans Saints. They're mid. Like they got a good defense, mid quarterback. Alvin Kamara is Alvin. Nah, he's this is Alvin Kamara suspended thing is just not gonna happen at this point.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
they gotta they just good at everything, but they not. It's just Derek Carr holding them back. Even though they just got to upgrade at quarterback, and they gonna enjoy his time there. They're gonna be a second round. Their ceiling is a second round exit in my opinion. Kind of like the Giants was this season. Like I'll see that as their ceiling. But the Saints ain't really gonna be on nothing. And at number 14, I don't know if this a hot take, bro, but it's going to be for you. I got the Denver Broncos. Um, I know Russell Wilson has regressed, it seems like, but I don't think he regressed. I think this is always who he has been. I think Pete Carroll was just good at hiding it. I think Sean Payton is gonna be able to hide his deficiencies as a passer. Um, he's gonna get what's that deep threat name? Their wide receiver three. They have a
As a Hamler,
no
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick, I feel like he's gonna be Russell Wilson's favorite target, and I thought he was gonna be last season because he plays exactly like the type of receiver that Russell Wilson used. He needs Russell Wilson is short, kind of like Bryce Young. When you have a short quarterback, you gotta know what you're doing with him. But the difference with Bryce Young and Russell Wilson, I don't want to get into it too much, is that he doesn't let it affect him. Russell Wilson does. He is a great deep passer and a great sideline passer. Never been good at throwing the ball in the middle. And guess what? Jerry Judy is great at getting open in the middle. That's why he doesn't use Jerry Judy that well. Jerry Judy isn't really a sideline guy, and I think the offense is going to change entirely. It's going to be more of a run-based offense with Javonte Williams coming back, and them signing Mike McGlinchey also shows me that. And I think it's going to be a lot of run game and play action, just like Seattle. Because that's why Pete Carroll was always mad at Russell Wilson and said this offense goes through the run game because he has a lot of deficiencies at quarterback that holds him back, but he just wasn't willing to accept it. But and his athleticism isn't the same, but I think Sean Payton, one of the greatest offensive minds of all time. If Russell Wilson can't do it with Sean Payton, he's done.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I 100%. Um, I had the Broncos. You had the Broncos high. I have them so low
Yeah,
because of exactly what you said.
they're a wild card.
Yeah, they're Russell Wilson's deficiencies. I don't believe Sean Payton is gonna like we're paying you all this money. You're gonna have to do something. Like we're not just paying you just to hand the ball off to Javante Williams. Like you're gonna have to do something, and that's why they're so low for me. But what number are we on?
14.
14.
I
My
had the
number
Broncos.
14 is the Pitts.
No, no,
I have
number
the Pittsburgh
13.
Steelers. No, I haven't said my 14.
Oh, okay, yeah, so yeah,
My
14.
number 14 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to Shop. Uh, I'm not gonna say I believe in Kenny Pickett because then I'll be lying. But I do believe in the defense because it's still one of the best defenses in the NFL. They've signed Cole Holcomb, a linebacker from the Commanders, who is pretty solid, and they still have they have a better secondary than they did last year. Um, Pat Pete, uh, Minka Fitzpatrick. They still have T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith, but the part I'm excited for is Mr. NFL YoungBoy George Pickens. Um, I'm actually a fan of George Pickens. He's aggressive. He's not scared to go block somebody, and he also has some of the best hands the NFL has. He has some of the best hands right now. So yeah, don't have too much else to say about them. Yeah, my number 14 is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
At number 13, I got Russell Wilson's old home, the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know why I almost said Supersonics.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The Seattle Seahawks, they got pick 5 and pick 20 in the draft.
20.
That's crazy good because imagine they were to get fucking Will Anderson and Kalijah Cansey, something like that, and just entirely change the defense that got the least amount of pressures. And bro,
Yeah,
they just were already such a good offense. And Pete Carroll, like I said, although he may not be the greatest offensive mind, hey, he's looking like it with how Russell Wilson is acting right now in the NFL. And
yeah,
they got a lot of weapons. They got Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Their offensive line is getting better. Geno Smith, come on, come on. I'm gonna give him his flowers, man. He could
yeah.
lead
You
this
have
team.
to.
He kind of like Kirk Cousins. This team could uplift him, and he could take advantage of that. And if they get a couple players on the defense in this draft, they could even end up being hired. Cause Will Anderson, if he falls to them, bro, that's super tough, super tough. Cause I seen a lot of teams are trying to trade up to pick 3. If the Cardinals trade back and the Colts will draft a quarterback, come on, man. That Will Anderson on the Seahawks would look so nice, but I don't want to talk about that too much. But yeah, I got the Seahawks at 13. They're a
My
good
number
team.
13 is my number 13 is New York Giants. Um, it's the Giant. The Giants are number 13 because of you know can we trust Daniel Jones fully? Like, and I just can't. Like, not only because I'm a Cowboys fan, but if I was to be a Giants fan, and going off what I've seen, the past couple years, he led the league in turnovers a couple times, like total turnovers, not just interceptions. But I like how he protected the ball a lot more this season. But can that be consistent? Can he do that every season and make sure he doesn't, turn the ball over? I don't know. I haven't seen it, but everything else is solid. Solid wide receivers. Another one of y'all struggles. You have a bunch of wide receiver 2s and 3s. You don't have a wide receiver 1 just yet, and y'all can draft one. Darren Waller is okay. If he can, I just wish he stayed on the field more. It just doesn't. It feels like because I seen a stat. He's played more games than George Kittle. Whether you're gonna believe that or not.
Yeah, I believe it.
And it just doesn't feel like he has. It feels like he's never on the field.
It's
But
because Kittle
yeah,
plays in the playoffs and like he has big performances. Like his games are louder.
yeah, I see that. So with that Darren Waller, I feel like he can be solid, but it's all gonna come down to Daniel Jones, and he's the reason why y'all are 13. I don't fully trust him yet. Yeah, so that's about it. But my number 12 is your number 13. I have the Seattle Seahawks at number 12 for the same reasons you named: the offense, the weapons, K9, Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant. They have DK Metcalf, who was cooking Charvarius Ward, by the way, in the a divisional game. But
I don't remember it, brother.
I think, and with the two picks they have, they could do literally anything they want to do. They can go double pass rusher because you said they had the least amount of pressure in the league. They can go double pass rusher. They can they can go. They could even draft a quarterback if they wanted to. I've been seeing Hendon Hooker locked to the Seahawks. Don't know, but yeah. I honestly, the Seahawks have a bright future. I think with they can draft a quarterback, and Geno Smith is gonna. This team is gonna take. Like, it's not just one person. Like, this is gonna be a collective effort team, and everybody's gonna do their own part, and they can make it back to the playoffs.
All right. All right. That's not bad. I like it kind of close to me. At number 12, I got no option but to be low on this team because every time I'm high on them, I get disappointed. And y'all already know it's the Los Angeles Chargers. Um,
Yeah,
they got a lot. When you really look at them, they got a lot of holes, bro. Trey Pipkins, bro. 2 years ago, when Max Crosby finished him to eliminate them from the playoffs, they should have been let him go. But it's like they believe in him and they're gonna keep giving him these options, these chances. And the receivers aren't as good as people like paying them out to be. Keenan Allen always misses games. Mike Williams isn't really a separator. They need a receiver. They signed Eric Kendricks, which was a nice signing, and then J.C. Jackson. That was a huge swing and a miss so far. He could
yeah,
come back and prove us wrong, but they don't have a run defense. They don't have a deep threat for Justin Herbert, and they missing a tackle. They missing their offensive line isn't that good. They just they got holes at places where I think they could fix, but I thought they could have fixed it last year. I thought they could have fixed it the year before that. They got to show me at this point, man. Like in the draft, they got to show me that they know what they're doing. Well, actually, I
yeah,
can't even say that. They draft well. It just, the Chargers is always disappointing.
yeah.
And
I get that fully.
at number 11, man, you know we got the New York Giants, NYG. Come on, man. They turning up, bro. Like, they doing a lot of good. They doing all the right moves. I'm being honest with you. Like, this is the best I've ever seen them being managed. And Daniel Jones and the Giants are the only team in the NFL right now that are outside practicing for camp. They started a couple weeks ago. Saquon Barkley's franchise tag, and he's out there showing that he's willing to play on it. He knows he messed up because guess what? In the middle of the season, we offered him the highest paid running back contract in the NFL. He declined it. He got nothing in the open market now. Is that he can't be mad at us for that? We got Darren Waller. He's a good option, man. We already talked about it, so I ain't gonna talk about it too much. Evan Neal, second year tackles always progress, and Evan Neal was the best tackle in that class. He showed signs of being great, and Andrew Thomas already is a superstar. We got Dexter Lawrence, superstar, in my opinion. Xavier McKinney, he's gonna take a leap to superstardom because he's already an All Pro. Our defense is good. Kayvon Thibodeau, if you watch the games, he was held the most in the NFL, similar to Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa's first
Oh,
season, when
first
he,
season.
yeah, because when you're a rookie, the referees don't really understand how good you are, so they don't really watch Kayvon Thibodeau. They don't know Kayvon Thibodeau to know that teams have to hold on to him. He gets held all the time. That's why he didn't have that much sacks last year, but he has so much pressures because he gets held. And Brian Daboll already mentioned that he's sending all the tape of him being held. Like he said that it was a long like 10-minute video of Kayvon Thibodeau being held throughout the season, and none of them was called. Another thing, Daniel Jones hasn't turned the ball over that much, and guess what? Josh Allen, Brian Daboll leaves, is a turnover machine. I think that Brian Daboll is a great coach and is limiting Daniel Jones cons. Like Daniel Jones he's gonna I believe in him because every time he plays with Saquon, he looks great. And him and Saquon is like a little parent. And Saquon, he already showed last year he was the best running back in the league in my opinion, or if not the best, the most valuable because he's one of the better runners and a great receiver. It just comes down to what we draft at pick.
CMC showed that he was more valuable to that team, to the 49ers. But Saquon is still a great running back.
Yeah, but he was the best in my opinion because CMC isn't what Saquon is as a runner of the football. Like what the main thing you're looking for.
But he is 2 times the receiver he is than Saquon.
Yeah, but Saquon's 3 times the runner. I can say that because there's times where the 49ers rather run with Deebo Samuel than Christian McCaffrey.
Well, that's because
Yeah.
somewhat. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And we even got a great backup quarterback with Tyrod Taylor. Bobby O'Carey, Adoree Jackson was great. This is one of my favorite Giants teams because of how much I believe in Daniel Jones, and I think this year he's even going to take another step forward with us getting him options. And you could go to your number 11. You at
Number 11 is Detroit Lions. Uh, they are one of the better coached teams in the NFL. Their weapons. They have Jameson Williams. He's going to break out this season. And I don't think you can go anywhere but up with this team. They did just trade Jeff Okuda, but they signed Cameron. They got Cameron Sutton, one of the better cornerbacks. And I don't remember all their moves. I know they let Jamal Williams go. I think he went to the Saints. But I think I just get good vibes from this Lions team. It's not like the Lions teams of the past. I just think Dan Campbell is doing his job. He's doing what he had to do as a head coach. And he's turned his Lions team around. And there's no way, like, if you were to tell me a couple years ago, at the beginning of last year, that the Lions were a game away from making the playoffs, I would not have believed you. I was like, bro, they're terrible. What do you mean? But they were a game away. And I think they're going to win the division this year because the NFC North is just not great. The NFC as a whole is kind of terrible. Like, the 3 best teams in the NFC are the 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants. Like, those are the best teams in the NFC. And that's kind of disgusting now that I'm thinking about it. The AFC is so stacked. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 AFC teams in the top 10. So take that as what you want. But yeah, that's my number 11. My number 10 is the Miami Dolphins. They could be a lot higher. They're not no lower than 10. The addition of Jalen Ramsey pushed them over the top. They still have Tyreek Hill. They still have Jalen Waddle. Mike Gesicki left, but they can always draft a tight end. I think, as much as I hated on Tua, I think that this is a year he can truly break out. I still don't believe in his arm, but I think he can get better, accurate, as in accuracy, and say he doesn't have to throw the ball deep every play. He can just throw it like on a 10-yard dig route and just throw it and let the wide receiver do the rest of the work. He just has to hit his targets, and that's why I think he can improve. The Dolphins are 10 to me, and that's about it. That's all I got to say about the Dolphins.
At number 10, shout out to Mike. I got the Dallas Cowboys. They improved this team crazy.
Don't shout me out, but that is low because that means you have the Dolphins, Jaguars, Jets.
Not the Jets. I got some teams. I got a team that you named in the 20s high.
In the who is it?
You'll see.
No, I want to know now. I gotta know now because anybody that I named in the 20s,
You'll see, but it's a reason. It's a reason why. But let me talk about the Cowboys. Though. Or you want to wait so you can talk about the Cowboys?
No. Because the Cowboys aren't my 10. The Cowboys are way higher than
Yeah,
my
yeah,
10.
yeah.
But
But the Cowboys,
you can talk about it. You can say,
they're great, bro. Like they got Stephon Gilmore, who that I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm kind of jealous on that one. That I love Stephon, and he's gonna make that pass defense even tougher, which was already like the best pass defense last year. They got Brandon Cooks, who's a great deep threat option. Like I hated when they lost Amari Cooper, but this kind of remakes for it, even though they lost the year of it. But they fixed their wrongs. They got Brandon Cooks, who's an amazing option, and Stephon Gilmore, who also is even better. Who else did y'all get? I remember it was one more person.
that that's about it.
Oh, and then in the draft, y'all still got a draft pick too, which
We
could
still got
move y'all.
draft picks.
Yeah, which could move y'all up. And losing Zeke is an addition by subtraction. No cap. No, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yeah.
The
Ronald
Cowboys.
Jones. That's who we signed.
Who?
And Ronald Jones. That
I,
doesn't move needle for me
yeah,
either.
yeah,
So
but he's a good little another option. But one thing about the NFC East, no one's ever won the division 2 years in a row, so it's possible the Cowboys can. It's possible, but
yeah. No, the Eagles won it last year.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like them being number 10 could be low, and in the draft they could probably, if they were to get Bijan, maybe they'll go higher if they got Bijan.
If we
But
go Bijan, you definitely have to put us in your top three because that running game would just go so stupid.
yeah, y'all get Bijan. That is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, but y'all are a good team though. Like I'll give y'all that. Who there was someone else y'all got though that I liked. Was it not?
We just re-signed our
Yeah,
guys. Like
yeah,
we
yeah,
don't really.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, the Cowboys is a good team though. I don't want. There's nothing bad I can say about them. Did you say you're number 10 already?
Yeah, my 10 was the Miami Dolphins.
All right, at number 9, I got the Baltimore Ravens. Their defense also insane. When they got Roquan Smith, became the best defense in the league, and they got Odell Beckham Jr., who ain't really changing too much, but they were the number one team last year when Lamar Jackson. They were the number one seed, had the most wins when Lamar Jackson was playing, and Lamar Jackson, he coming back. Like if Lamar don't come back, this entirely changes. But Lamar Jackson's coming back, and they got him maybe his best receiving option he's ever had in his career. And it's crazy to say because Odell Beckham isn't even like a wide receiver one in my opinion. He's a high end number two. Yeah, I don't got too much else to say about the Baltimore Ravens because I don't. They don't have Lamar Jackson 100%, or he's franchise tag, so they do. But
My number nine is the. And my number nine is the New York Jets. And I have to put an asterisk by this with the potential of them getting Aaron Rodgers. If they don't get Aaron Rodgers, they drop down to like 17. But their number nine for me, if they get Aaron Rodgers, because of the weapons that they do have already, they have they said they have Miko Hardman, they have Alan Lazard, and they have Brees Hall's coming back. They have an okay O line, and then their defense is one of the best. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Mark, and they have their whole the defense as a whole. You can really put them in the top five, and like I said, the potential to get Aaron Rodgers. That's what makes them number nine, and that's about it. That's all I got for them.
who you got at 8?
I got the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know why. It's the Justin Herbert is
Yeah,
what puts them this high. They don't. Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, they are great pass rushers, but Justin Herbert is what puts them this high. I'm never gonna count out Justin Herbert because he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Austin Eckler wanted a trade. I don't think he's gonna get it, so he's gonna come back and play another year for the Chargers. They don't have Mike Will and Keenan Allen are good receivers. Keenan Allen used to be elite, not anymore. Mike Will is a good receiver. Um, but that's about it. Like now, I'm getting down to where I don't have to say much about teams
yeah,
because
yeah.
they're just
People they know at this point. At number
yeah.
8, man, Is there a team you realize I haven't said yet?
Nope.
On the field, Deshaun Watson is one of the best players in the NFL. Bro, last
That's a
year,
nasty agenda. That's
hold
a
on,
nasty
hold on,
agenda.
hold on, hold on. Last year, he come on, he didn't play for like a year and a half. Like I knew he was gonna be bad last year. I knew the Browns were gonna be bad last year because he wasn't playing. He was suspended and he already missed a year. Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, was the second best quarterback in the NFL. I know most people disagreed with me even at the time. No matter what, he was top three in my opinion. And he has one of the better offensive lines. Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. He's getting his weapons. The Browns got a defensive tackle, Dalvin Tomlinson. He's a good run defender, and he's also a good pass rusher. And they've never had something like that next to Myles Garrett. It literally just usually be Myles Garrett soloing, getting triple team. Now you can't. You can still double him, but Dalvin Tomlinson can make you pay. And they got a bunch of options in the secondary. Or hold on, they had a bunch of options somewhere. Let me check their depth chart. I think the Browns are going to be a playoff team, bro. They're a really good team, and even when Jacoby Brissett was quarterbacking them, they were going to make the playoffs. It just they literally had no choice but to play Deshaun Watson because of everything that came with it. But they got Greg Newsome, who was a good rookie, Juan Thornhill. That's what happens when you talk highly of a weirdo, bro. You know what? I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Where you go? You,
Yeah.
bro, my computer just died, bro. You go it already.
My number 7 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Jaguars they ended the season really well last year against the Kansas City Chiefs. Trevor Lawrence pushing this team above and beyond expectations. We did not expect them to be great last year, but they turned their season around and they ended up beating the Chargers in the playoffs, and that's why I have them so high, honestly, for me. Um, that's about it. The Jaguars they have no choice but to go up from here. So
Yeah, I gotta run through the last couple though. Yeah, I gotta go now. Uh, how you want to run through the last couple?
let's just say them. Let's just say them.
So yeah, say the rest of your list.
All right, so number 6 is the Buffalo Bills. Number 5 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Hot take. Number 4 is the Dallas Cowboys. Even hotter take.
Even.
Number 3 the 49ers. Number 2 Bengals. And number 1 the Kansas City Chiefs. Strictly because of Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Andy Reid.
Yep. All right, I got a couple takes too, man. Number 8 Browns is a take. I'm not gonna lie, that's a take. Number 7 Bills is another take. Like I said, man, Brian Daboll leaving. I feel like it's gonna be a big hit. Number 6 is another take. Sheesh, I got the Dolphins winning that division. They got too much weapons, and if Tua could play games, they win it. That division. Number 5, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Number 4 is a hot take, I think. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. That defense is getting rounded up. I think the Jaguars may have the MVP of the league on their team next season. Number 3, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. And number 1, come on, man. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nothing you really say about it. He is the best quarterback in the league by a wide margin.
By far, yeah. It's not even close.
Could you explain your takes you had, like the Cowboys and the Eagles?
I just feel like the Eagles, they're not they just lost a lot of pieces and they lost a lot of coordinators. And the Cowboys, I feel like they gained more than the Eagles lost. So, but the Eagles' losses mattered and they're huge. But yeah, that's just about it. That's about it.
Yeah. All right, that'll be it for this episode. Mike, you can hit the outro.
All right, man. That's gonna do it for this episode of Up the Score, the Up the Score show, man. Thank y'all for watching and tune in tonight. I think.
Yeah, tonight for Playing.
Tonight we are having a playing watch party, man. Go ahead, tune into that. Just want to thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good day.
All right.